You guys already know. Gotta get the fucking table. You gotta have a rag. You gotta have a tray to wipe down the tables. I'm just saying. So this is gonna be hour-long episode. Me talking about random things that happen in my life, just as usual. Just as usual. But today, it's going to be a little different. I know this camera angle is a little bit funky, but we're going to actually here. Let me just set the, there we go. That's better. All right. So it's what? I want to say Friday night, you know. I'm sitting with my buddy Cole, right? Now I'm sitting with Cole. It's kind of like, it's supposed to be like that. Now I'm sitting with Cole, right? You know, we're driving around, going to the parks and shit. You know, I got to go pick him up from work. He works at Burger King. Shit like that, right? So it's Friday night. I'm drinking, obviously, because this is a drunk story, a drinking story. And I'm, man, you would not believe how much we drank that night, man. It was badass. But we tell stories. Right? We tell stories. And I think for this one, we're going to smoke our very last ciggy. Alright? We're going to smoke our last cig. Right? So it's about, I want to say, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Shit, right? Man, this is typical. You know, you got a beer in one hand, a cigarette in the other. Man, this is just like me telling a story in real life. Is someone banging outside, dude? I feel like someone's throwing a party outside. If that's the case, I might go to it. So as you guys probably know, I do all these videos in my house, right in my room and shit. So that's where these shows are now. Right? That's where these shows are now. That's how they kind of go today. So it's a Friday night. You know, I'm typically just, you know, driving around with me and my buddy B. So me and B, you know, we're just sitting there talking, drinking, and shit. I'm gonna turn this light on for you guys so you guys can get better lighting. Because you guys know how I feel about bad lighting. Right? So I think this show is gonna be about 15 minutes long. I'm gonna try and drink 2 beers during the show and smoke a cigarette. I plan on doing shows outside. It's just I'm wondering when I'm gonna do them and how. So it's Friday night. All right, I'm sitting with B. You know, we're going to the park and we're drinking. You know, we had I want to say about 4 beers that night, right? So far. So we had about 4 beers, and I'm gonna open up my window because I don't like the smell of smoke in my room. Just kind of something who I am, what I do. So it's Friday night, right? I'm driving. I'm sipping. You know, I'm having a good time. And we go to get this bag of weed. Actually, well, yeah, we go to get this bag of weed, right? Go to get this bag of weed, and I guess it's kind of a crossfade story. You know, I guess it's kind of, I guess you could say it's a crossfade story. So we're driving, right? We're already at the park. You know, B's got to meet some friends. You know, talking shit, right? But we're sitting there, we're drinking, right? We're in the car drinking a Miller Lite. 24 ounce. So we drink about 4 of those, man. We're fucked up at the time, you know. But we walk outside and we walk around for about an hour, I want to say. So we're walking around for about an hour. You know, we're just looking for things to do, people to talk to. And then B's friend comes up. I don't know their name or anything like that. You know, I don't pay attention and shit, right? I don't really pay attention to names unless they're important people in my life. Like Victoria or Ryan or any of those other guys, Luis and shit, Flo, right? But I'm standing there, you know, I'm drinking away. I want to say it's my 5th beer. 5th beer of the night. I got another 8-pack in the car. So, we're drinking at the park, right? And then Cole texts me, he's like, hey, where you guys at? And I'm standing there like, well, I burped, by the way. You know, I'm drinking my beer. Right. And I tell Cole, you know, I'll be on my way and I'll come to get you. He gets off at about 7 o'clock, right? So he gets off at about 7 o'clock. Come on. Focus. There we go. So he gets off at about 7 o'clock, right? It's about 7 o'clock right now. I'm driving all the way back to Jackson Road to pick him up. You know, he works at Burger King, some bullshit, right? So I'm driving back to Jackson Road, right? I'm drunk as shit. Well, not drunk as shit. Almost there. I sipped a few beers, had a good time. And then when we go to get to Cole, you know, we go back to the park and shit. You know, introduce him to people and shit. Brandon's friends and shit, right? And Cole says, man, I need some weed. So I pick him up. You know, it's still sunny outside. It was actually a really nice day that day. So we're driving downtown, right? We're going to this dispensary, 18 packer. Right? Now, I shit you not. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. Right? I'm drunk. I'm driving, but I'm focusing driving. You know, I had a bowl before I left the park. So I'm crossfaded, you know, I'm not too high, I'm not too drunk. I'm just in the middle of the two. So I'm sitting there. Right, we're at the dispo. It's getting dark outside, right? So it's about 7:30 now, right? We're waiting in the street for B to get out of the dispo. Right? Now this is not the first time that I've gone to the dispo with B and Cole. B's a man, by the way, so don't get confused. So we're at the dispo, right? And I'm sitting in the car for at least 30 minutes, man. I'm sitting there like having my arm on the windowsill, smoking a cig at the time. And I'm sitting there like, man, where the fuck is B at? He's out there getting weed, right, from the dispo. So we get back in the car, right? He gets back in the car, pulls out the bag. He's got a big ass half. Right now, Cole's telling me that he can go through a half in a week. So I take his word for it, right? As you guys can tell, I'm drunk as shit right now. It's my 3rd beer of the day. Took a few shots before I started the show. I took a few shots to Captain Morgan. So I'm drunk as shit right now. Right, and the only time you can tell good stories is either when you're high. Well, I can't really tell stories when I'm high. I can tell more when I'm drunk because I can speak more openly, put more funny shit into it, and make it sound better. You guys saw my episode called Fancy Drinking You Here? Yeah, I was high as shit at that time. I'm not sure if you guys could tell. So I'm in the car. It's about 8 o'clock now. You know, I got to be home in like 3-4 hours. It's about 12 midnight, right? And I'm high as shit at this time and drunk as shit. So I'm stumbling into that. So I smoked this big ass blunt. I want to say it's at least a 2.5 gram blunt. right? 2.5 grams. And, man, that shit changes you, man. Smoking weed, that shit changes you. So does smoking cigarettes, but not really that much, right? Not in the positive way that weed does. It kind of makes you addicted to cigarettes, and then you start smoking more and more and more until your lungs give out and you die. Now, you guys are probably asking yourself, well, Alex, why are you doing this? Why are you smoking cigarettes? Well, it's all part of the show. And I want to do these shows more in Ann Arbor. I want to do them more in my city where I can get a crowd of people, maybe about 50 to 100 people in one comedy room, right? In one comedy room where everyone's just fucking shit-faced, drunk, plastered, right? Drunk as shit. Now, I stated this in a pre-recording. It was just a pre-recording for an episode. I was just talking about random shit. I wasn't really talking about anything specific. I was just talking about how I say I'm drunk as shit or I'm high as shit. So this is my fourth beer of the night. Right now. Right, so I'm drunk as shit. Right, you guys can probably tell I'm stumbling around and shit. I'm repeating myself and shit, so I gotta stop that. So, I'm with Brandon. It's about 8 o'clock. Right, it's about 8 o'clock. And we're driving back to Cole's house. It's about 8:30 now. Not right now, but in this story. It's about 8:30. You know, it takes about 30 minutes to get across town through traffic bullshit, right? So, it's about 8:30. It's about to be 9 o'clock in about 15 minutes, right? I'm smoking this blunt. I'm high as fucking shit. You know, I'm high as a fucking kite. My eyes are bloodshot red. I'm trying to control myself by smoking some menthol cigarettes, which really doesn't fucking help, you know. I puked twice, by the way, during this story. I had about, I want to say 10 beers at night. I'm drunk as shit. I'm high as shit. You know, but I'm still driving correctly. I'm not swerving. I'm not doing anything reckless in driving, right? I'm just sitting there taking it in. Whenever you smoke in your room, guys, you gotta have cologne. It just lightens the mood. So it's about 9:30, right? I just finished this blunt. 2 blunts. And, you know, I'm feeling great. Right? I'm high as shit. I'm not feeling any pain because I've been drinking for about 3 hours straight. Since about 6 o'clock, so it's 9:30. So yeah, about 3 hours straight. B gets off of work at 6. Cole gets off at 7. But that's beside the point. So, I'm sitting here drinking, right? I'm sitting here drinking, smoking, shit like that. You know, I'm crossfaded as shit. But we'll be right back. So I'm drunk as shit. I'm crossfaded as fuck. It's almost 10 o'clock. Right? It's almost 10 o'clock. And I got about 2 more hours left, so I'm just hanging with Cole at his house, right? I'm smoking a blunt. 3rd blunt of the night. Right, 3rd blunt of the night. You know, we have about, I want to say, 1.5 more blunts that night, right? Now, I'm fucked up. Right? I'm fucked up. And I'm out here telling stories about shit that goes on in my life. This is the time of the story, by the way. I was doing stories back about, I want to say, a month and a half ago when I was on the cruise. I was doing stories back then. You know, I had a few shows on the ship. Good times. About I had about 25 people around me at one point. 25 to 30. Right? 25 to 30 people around me at one time. I was telling stories and I was drunk as shit. Now, it seems to me that I tell better stories when I'm drunk than when I'm high. And I was both on the ship. Right? I was drunk as shit every day. But I was high as shit only one day. And that's when I went to Cozumel. But anyways, back to the story about Brandon and Cole. It's my 5th beer of the night. Right? Man. So it's about 11 o'clock now. Right? I drove past Cole's house to, I want to say Chelsea, Michigan. Right? Chelsea, Michigan. I drove all the way to Chelsea. I had no idea where the fuck I was going, dude. I was high and drunk as shit. So it's about 11:30 now. We get back into Jackson. Or it's about 11:15, I want to say. It's about 11:15. I'm back in Jackson with Cole. I had to drop him off at his house. And I'm like, hey, AB, I'll drop you off at his house. And he's like, oh, fuck yeah. So I drop him off at his house, right? I'm still drunk as shit, high as shit, right? My eyes are as red as this can. Or this little cologne bottle, I should say. My eyes are as red as that. And I get home at about midnight. My parents say, what's up? Check in on me, see how I'm doing. They ask for my car keys because they got to go somewhere the next day, right? They got to use my car. I don't know why. They say your car has better fuel economy, and I'm just sitting there like, it's bullshit, right? Bullshit. But I respect their opinion, and I say, okay, you can take the car for the night. So they take the car, right? They take the car, or they take the keys for the car. They examine me like a physician or some kind of doctor in the IHA. If you guys live in Michigan, you know what IHA stands for. If you live on Jackson Road or in Ann Arbor, or you just know what IHA is in general, it's International Health Agency, I think. Man, if I guess that, I'm a fucking genius. And I'm drunk as shit. So, IHA, right? They investigate me like some physician at an IHA institute, right? Tell me to take my hat off, right? I'm standing here like this. I'm high as shit, right? So my eyelids are super low. I'm smiling at everything. I'm just enjoying my life. They look in my eyes and they say, oh, you're high as a kite. We're going to drug test you. So they do. They find marijuana in me, whatever bullshit. They thought I was on some other drugs like cocaine, crack, heroin.